to Layer the Alchemist, where we discuss all things heavy metal and hard rock, and welcome to another edition of Midweek Maiden. This is where we get together on Wednesdays to discuss Iron Maiden related topics, and for this episode I am going to be doing the impossible. I'm going to be ranking the songs on Peace of Mind. This is my favorite Iron Maiden record, so this is very hard to do. I love this record. I love the production on it. It's just my favorite Iron Maiden record. Came out at a time when I was totally into the band, and it's just stuck with me all these years, so this is not easy to do. Okay, we've got 9 songs in play here. We've got Where Eagles Dare, Revelations, Flight of Icarus, Die With Your Boots On. Side 2 is The Troopers, Still Alive, Quest for Fire, Sun and Steel, and To Tame a Land. So I am going to be going from my least favorite to my favorite. Okay, number 9 for me, my least favorite song on this album, and probably the only song that I sometimes find myself skipping over, is Die With Your Boots On. This song has a 3-way writing credit of Adrian, Bruce, and Steve. It's the only song on the album that has a 3-person writing credit on it. Maybe that has something to do with it. It's a little bit confused or something. I kind of like the main riff, but I don't like that part before the chorus, that if you're gonna die, if you're gonna die. And the song for me just feels a little like, I'm gonna say silly, but it's a little bit kind of like a little too upbeat for me. And considering there's some really heavy, intense songs on this record, this one just kind of doesn't work for me, and it's the only song that I find myself kind of wanting to skip over. I don't like the version on Live After Death either. I wish they had put something else in place of it on Live After Death. So, okay, that's my number 9. At number 8 is Sun and Steel. This is a Bruce and Adrian song. It's not that I don't like this one. It's just that it falls a little bit lower on my list, I think, because of, again, this sort of upbeat feel in the chorus. It's catchy and everything, and it is, and the intro riff I think is really cool, but I think the chorus for me is just a little bit too bright, a little too happy sounding. So it comes in at number 8. Okay, number 6 is Quest for Fire, and this is my first Steve Harris picked number on here. I know a lot of people don't like the verse in this, the way Bruce's voice, the melody line, in the time when dinosaurs walked the earth, and the way Bruce jumps up really high in the melody line of the verse. I kind of like that. I think that that's fun. I do really like the chorus in this one. I like kind of the way the riff is and the way the chorus, that melody line sits over the chords and everything. But on an album this strong, it comes in at number 7 for me. And number 6 is going to be Still Life. This is the Dave Murray, Steve Harris number. Dave Murray doesn't get a whole ton of writing credits in Iron Maiden. Love the way this song builds, the way it starts off kind of slow and atmospheric, that funny little reversed Nickel McBraid thing at the beginning, and then it starts off with sort of plucking the notes and everything, and then it just keeps building, and the chorus is just great in this. Yeah, nightmares. It's just, I love that. I love the way the song ends too. Now I rest in peace. You know, the way it just ends is fantastic. So it's a song that just has a lot of energy and builds really, really well. Okay, like I said, this is so hard because these songs are just so good here, but number 5 for me is Revelations. Bruce Dickinson's song. Bruce does so well these sort of, if you want to call it a ballad, a heavy ballad, or a mid-tempo song. Let's call it a mid-tempo song. Bruce does so well on these. It's so melodic. Love the lyrics in it. Love the way the verses drop down and like the guitars are picking out the notes, and Steve has that walking bass line, one of my favorite Steve Harris bass lines. But it comes in at number 5 for me because some of the other songs I just picked the other songs higher than it. All right, number 4 is Flight of Icarus. I was kind of surprised. I didn't realize this is a Bruce Dickinson, Adrian Smith song until I was making. I'm ashamed to admit that. I always thought this was a Steve Harris song. Love this one. I think this one ranks up high for me because, again, I was so into Iron Maiden. They were getting they're getting videos played on MTV, you know, at this point. You had, of course, like Run to the Hills and Number of the Beast from Number of the Beast, but I just remember seeing like Flight of Icarus right when this album came out, and I love those clips of them in the studio and Bruce at the microphone and the band and everything. I just love the feel and the tightness between the bass and drums on this one. It's kind of everything that's like great about Iron Maiden. Bruce's soaring vocals, the chorus is just awesome. It's just so catchy, and the way the verse, the groove and everything, and the way they're locked in on that riff on the verse is just so cool. I love the tempo on it too. It just sits back a little bit. It's nice and in the pocket. Peace of Mind, maybe one of my favorite Nico McBrain albums here. His drumming on this whole record is really great, and I really like his playing on this one too. And the way the song at the end, when they start going on kind of like a double time thing, and the bass is moving up and all that, it's just fantastic. I love it. All right, number 3. This could have maybe ranked a little bit higher for me. It's just that maybe I've heard it a little bit too many times, but there's no denying that this is a heavy metal anthem for the ages, and that is The Trooper. You know, what can you say about this song? It's such a well-written song. I wish Iron Maiden could write short, to the point songs like this anymore. They seem to not be able to do that. It's legendary, those breaks with Bruce singing, "You take my life, but fantastic." The lyrics are just so heavy metal. The horses break with fear. The horses sweat with fear. We break to run. You know, just absolutely great. It's a song that when they play it, everybody goes crazy. When you're at a show and this comes on the PA system beforehand, it's just awesome. Everybody sings along. And that gallop rhythm is a Steve Harris Iron Maiden thing. They just completely own that. And this is, to me, a song that it's all about the gallop in this song, and the twin guitar stuff and melody lines like at the beginning of the song. Just absolutely classic, legendary. But it comes in at number 3 for me. Number 2 is going to be Where Eagles Dare. Always loved this song. The drum intro, so cool. Nico McBrain's first album with the band, and he comes out here with this super cool drum intro. There's a video of them in Gothenburg, I think it is, in Sweden. And it's on one of the retro tours that they were doing, and they opened the show with this, and it's just so cool. There's always airplane noises, gunfire, and then that Nico comes in with that drum beat, you know, and the band comes running out. Oh man, and I love that main riff and Bruce's vocals, and it's so intense and has so much like power to it, man. It's everything that I love about Iron Maiden. And as a kid, when I heard this, you know, I was into Black Sabbath before I discovered Iron Maiden, and Black Sabbath had that slow, heavy, doomy thing, but Iron Maiden had that really tight, powerful sound to them, and just Where Eagles Dare really captures that. The guitar solo section in the middle is so cool, where it sounds like gunfire, and they're doing like these dive bomb things and long held out notes to make it sound like, you know, airplanes, and just absolutely loving it. And that part after the guitar solo, where everything drops down, that is just so awesome. All right, number 1, the only song left is To Tame a Land. What's there to say about this? Quite a while ago, I did a deep cuts, Iron Maiden deep cuts video with some friends, and we talked about how To Tame a Land is like the ultimate Iron Maiden deep cut song that they wish they would insert back into the set. I think they did play it a few times on the Peace of Mind tour, but never played it after that. It's totally epic. It builds masterfully. The lyrics are just great. You know, Steve Harris is just at the peak of his writing powers on this album, in my opinion. And this song in particular, his ability to take like a story like this, the Dune story, just the same way he would do on the next record with Rime of the Ancient Mariner or Phantom of the Opera. It's just great. The band is so tight. There's this spot in the song where they're doing like that fast, it's so cool. Again, the song, the way it starts off and just builds that melody line from the guitar, and the riff is just so menacing sounding, and it's so tight. I love that kind of scale that they're using there. It's like this sort of Phrygian Egyptian like scale. It just puts you in the mood of the song. Just a fantastic, amazing epic. One of my favorite Iron Maiden songs, and it is my favorite song on this album, and an amazing album closer. You know, at this point, Iron Maiden, their album closers are all fantastic. Hallowed Be Thy Name, this, Rime of the Ancient Mariner. So, all right, there you go. My list here from 9 to 1. Least favorite to favorite: Die With Your Boots On, Sun and Steel, Quest for Fire, Still Life, Revelations, Flight of Icarus, Trooper, Where Eagles Dare, and To Tame a Land. All right, let me know what you think about my picks. Put yours down below. If you want to rank them, go ahead in the description down below. Make sure you hit like and subscribe. And until we see you again, make sure you stay heavy, stay metal, and up the irons.